Infrastructure Group, renamed since the last time we were here. In fact, the name of this conference was retitled. At the time we decided that at the beginning of this year, I wasn't quite sure what my new name was going to be, so I had a stab. I didn't quite get there, but got pretty close. So the new name simply hones in on what my business is really about. There are a range of things that I do that don't, strictly speaking, fall into the estate and infrastructure, but the bulk of the business is around this. We're still a significant land and property holder in Australia, probably the biggest. We're still spending a significant amount of money at around $4 billion a year. That will increase. We spend most of that money in Australia with Australian companies. The remaining useful life of the defence estate has been falling from in 2001 22 years to about 16 years now. And that tells you that the investment that has been going on in the estate has been insufficient. So we need to reduce the size of the estate, increase its occupational density, and invest a bit more in refreshment and renewal of facilities. Interestingly, the division, or the group that I lead, with about 2,300 people and this sort of project, is bigger than most federal government departments. Just a quick look at some of the things going on, and this is a very short list of achievements from in the last year. The base services contracts that we've established in partnership with industry, 10 separate contracts, have been and will be a transformational change as we bed those contracts in. They're still not quite a year old for the oldest ones, and only about 9 months old for the ones that came in the third wave. They are beginning to show benefit in terms of the way that we will deliver services now into the future. We've had $2.4 billion worth of future capital projects approved by the Parliamentary Committee on Public Works, and that just feeds the pipeline of future projects that are in the making at the moment. And we've got the new air combat capability project on contract, and that once those contracts are, all the contracts are placed, that is the biggest facilities project that we have ever done in Australia. And there's a range of other projects that are maturing and nearing completion. I put the Moorebank unit relocation on there, which is rebuilding the School of Military Engineering on the Moorebank on Holsworthy site as an example of consolidation. So we've lost one site, given it to the government so they can build the Sydney Intermodal Terminal and consolidate it into Holsworthy. So it's an example of the sorts of things that we should be doing more of in the future. So we're starting to take a more clearly asset management focused view of the world. We are looking at through-life costs for everything we do, and we're looking at energy efficiency and water efficiency. I won't go into a lot of detail on this great dive, we'll be talking about this in some depth later on. But it really is starting to underpin everything we do and the mindset that we're trying to bring into the business. For some of the things we're looking at, reforming contracting models. There'll be some discussion about this later on. I mentioned the base service re-tender. Internally, we're still bedding down our new operating model in terms of how my people work with the contractors that are delivering base services and with the ADF customers. And that's maturing, but still a little way to go. Partnerships with industry becoming more and more important. The focus of the first principles review, and a focus on quality and assurance. So we still have too many occasions where, particularly when we build things, where we find quality deficiencies in the construction, and there are too many cases, both in the building and maintenance world, where assurance is not obviously visible, and we struggle to assure the quality of what we've done. So that will be a focus going forward, as well as integrating the services through that service delivery project. So we do need to work together, and this conference is one example of how we'd like to talk to you guys. There's a list of other things we do. I try and have breakfast with people from time to time. It's always good fun. But my office door is always open for people who want to come in and talk about ideas and how we can improve the way we do business going forward. We're going to try and give you as much visibility of forthcoming procurement as we can through that publicly available integrated investment plan, and generally looking for longer term contracts, as exampled by the base services, which are 6+4 to 10-year contracts, so we can extract efficiencies out of those.